Hi friends, welcome in or welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley. This is your first time here. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support. I am getting into another reading vlog. I have gotten to a place in my editing journey that I'm able to start rewarding myself with a reading time, and I just love that for me. I have a whole list of books that I would like to get to this month, and I'm not going to pressure myself. I'm just going to take it as it goes and enjoy my reading. First things first, I want to let you know what I've already started for this vlog, and that is Heart Trick by Kristen Granada. She is an author that is going to be at the book signing that I'm going to in June, meet and greet cute, and it is a hockey romance. We know how I feel about these, and I'm about almost 30 pages into it, and I'm really enjoying it. It follows Cassidy and Trenton. Cassidy is an author who is experiencing writer's block, and Trenton is a hockey player that's just getting traded to a new team because of some drama with an ex, and the two are neighbors, and I think we're gonna get fake dating, and we know how that tends to end up. So I'm really excited to get through this. It's only like 180 pages, so I'm hoping that I can get through this fairly quickly, but I will be giving updates. If I include any spoilers, I'll make sure to let you know before they come, but more to come on Heart Trick. I am also reading 365 Days by, I can't remember the author's name, but I will pop a cover up of this book here. I was able to get the hold from my library, so I'm listening to the audio. This is a book recommendation by my aunt. I did watch the movie series against my will on Netflix. Again, a recommendation from my aunt. And I was not really a fan of the movie adaptation, but I am about 22% into the audiobook, and it definitely gives more detail that the movie left out, so it is a little bit more consumable in my opinion. I don't know if I will actually complete the 3 books in this series, but I am gonna read the first book and give it a try and make my judgment as I end each book. So that is what I'm currently reading right now. I will be back to give you an update once I have one, and I'm excited to be reading and making reading vlogs again. So here's to a week of good reads. Fingers crossed. Okay, it is a new day and I am reading Heart Trick. So I was super sick yesterday, and while I was in bed I read this, and let me just say, this book has me smiling so big, giggling, and kicking my freaking feet. It is so good. It is like fluffy, cute sweetness, and I am dying to get back into it. I did make it to the 50% mark yesterday, and I'm hoping to get another good chunk of this read in like the next hour. I do have a little bit more context. I don't know what I said in like the opening clip. I don't remember. But basically this book is following Cassidy and Trenton. I know I said that she's an author, he's a hockey player, and she is going through a breakup as well. She was cheated on, and the way that she was cheated on is causing her to have like writer's block, and he was cheated on by his fiance. And I think I already said that is why he is moving to where she lives now. But we do have a fake dating contract. Cassidy does not want to be paid for this fake dating contract, which was a suggestion by his PR agent to help his image because of the whole scandal with his ex. She just wants to be able to use aspects of their fake dating situation in her book. And so it's just cute. I mean, the two are, yes, it's fake dating, but you see them becoming friends and like really having each other's back and being there for each other, but also obviously you see them falling for each other. And what's wild is that it's happening like so quick and smoothly. Like, it's only 180 pages and I'm halfway through, and I was telling my friend earlier that, you know, she doesn't waste any words. She doesn't waste time. The chapters are moving and it gives you the information that you need and like leaves out all the fluff. But the story is so good. I mean, like, I'm literally laughing out loud, smiling big. My eyes have watered a couple times. Like, it is such a cute book. I have listened to a little bit more of 365. I think went from like 22% to maybe 25%, 26%. So I've read 4% more of this book. It still says I have 7 hours left in it. I do plan to get some cleaning done today before I do editing, so I will probably pop my headphones in and listen to that while I'm cleaning just to get through it. I will say I am enjoying it more than I enjoyed the movies, for sure. And Ashley probably 3 years ago would have ate this book up and left no crumbs. Ashley today, while I still like this dynamic, I don't know, I feel like it maybe misses something for me. I don't know. I have to get more into it and read it a little bit more. But I'm gonna end this update here and I will be back as soon as I have another one. Okay, I have another quick update for you all. I finished Heart Trick by Kristen Granada, and I did end up really enjoying this book. There was no third act breakup, just a little separation, but overall the story was really cute. I feel like the second half was good. I liked the like love confession and how they like decided to be together. I thought that was really cute. The little conflict in the end was not something that I would say was a misunderstanding. Like I could understand why the female main character felt the way she did, and the male main character groveled in the best way he possibly could have. Overall, I really enjoyed this book. I am excited to read the next book. I do have it on hand. I just don't know when I'm going to get to it, but I'm so glad that I read this and gave it a shot. So I'm going to put this up and make plans to read book 2. I did get some cleaning done, like I said, and I read or I listened to 20 more percent of 365 days, and it's a good listen. Like I said, it has more detail than the movie offers, and it is following Laura and Massimo, and he is a mafia don, and she was unemployed whenever they got together. So he had a tragic event happen, and apparently whenever he was like in the coma or something like that, I don't know, he started having visions of Laura, somebody that he's never met before, and he did not even know she was real. And then he happens to see her in real life and realizes that she is a real person. And when he sees her, he wants her, and just like any other mafia man would do, he takes her, and he gives her 365 days to fall in love with him. I don't know how I feel. I really don't. The listen is easy, and I don't know if it's easier because I watched the movie, but I don't know. I mean, it's good. Like I said, it's better than the movie just because of the details that it has in it, but it's really just like a cat and mouse game. And like while she is upset, rightfully so, because she was taken, like it turns very quickly from like I'm upset that I'm taken to I feel like she's just kind of making him mad just to make him mad. I don't know. I don't know how I want to explain like my feelings of this book, so I'm just not gonna keep talking about it. I'm finishing it because I watched the movie and I just want to know how it's gonna go. But I will say that it is like the movie follows this book to a T. I mean, like every single thing that has happened in this book has it happened in the movie. It's just like there's more detail and context around each event. So that's about it. That's all I have to say. I don't know what book I'm gonna start reading next. I feel like it's probably going to be Phantom on my Kindle. I have been reading another book called The Life of Maggie Gray. I think that's what it's called, but it's by Granger is who it's by. And I haven't really decided if I'm going to keep reading that or if I'm going to DNF it. I've kind of been reading it off on and off for like the past maybe month and a half. I really like the premise of the story, but something about it is just not pulling me in, and I don't really know how to explain it. So I don't know. Whenever I have an update, I'll be back here with one, and I will talk to y'all later. Boy, do I have some updates for you. Okay, first and foremost, I have finished another book and started another book. I finished my audio listen to 365. What the hell is the name of that book? 365 Days? Yes, I think that's what it's called. And let me just say, I listened to that book on 2 times speed, and I can say the second half of the book grabbed me. So I think I went into detail previously about how these two have come together, and honestly not much really happens outside of her saying that she doesn't want to be there, him saying that he'll give her time but don't push him, and the shenanigans happen. She ends up only, spoiler alert, she ends up only being with Massimo for 2 months before, you know, saying that she has fallen in love with him. And I mean, again, if you've seen the movie, the book follows pretty closely. The ending between the book and the movie are different, I will say that. And I will say that I liked the ending of the book much better than I liked the movie. Laura is insufferable. Okay? Like, I know that you did not ask to be kidnapped. I get that. But whenever you make the decision to tell this mafioso that you love him and that you don't need 365 days, to me, you are accepting who he is and the life that he is leading, okay? This woman cries and fusses anytime he unalives somebody. Like, what do you expect? you're dating the head of a mafia. Girl, what did you expect? You could have rolled out those 365 days and said, oh, I'm not in love with you, and just went on about your life. But that is not what you did. She's insufferable. But her best friend brought flavor to the story, okay? And from what I'm being told, the best friend will be in the rest of the series. So as of right now, I do plan to continue this trilogy. I've already gotten the second book, the audio, from my library, and I will start that either today or tomorrow. I haven't decided yet. And yeah, I feel like because I listened to this on 2x speed and I already had preconceived notions in my head because of the movie, that I was feeling a certain way about this book to begin with. And like I said, I still ended up liking it. Is it like my favorite mafia story? No. Am I intrigued enough to continue? Yes. Am I slightly being bullied by my aunt and my cousin to continue? Also yes. But I'm having a good time, and I'm able to talk about it to them because they're like patiently waiting for my updates. So it makes the read a little bit more fun. I don't think I mentioned this, but when I finished Heart Trick by Kristen Granada, I think it was either the epilogue or like one of the last chapters, I can't remember, but the Trenton calls Cassidy baby girl, and she literally says, don't call me that, you remind me of that creep from the Netflix show or from the Netflix movie 365. And my mouth literally dropped because of the fact that that line comes up and I was already listening to 365. It was a lot to take in that moment, but it was super funny. So the next thing that I want to tell you all about is I have started reading another book, and I am reading Phantom by H.D. Carlton. I'll pop a pretty picture up of it here. And I read on my lunch. So I'm officially 12% in. I did start it last night and I am enjoying it. Already 12% in. I don't know. I love me some H.D. Carlton. And to get the story before Adeline's story is just chef's kiss. Ronaldo is showing grand similarities to Zaid. I would even venture to say though that Ronaldo is worse because at least, you know, Zaid was trying to do like helpful stuff in like his regular everyday business life. Ronaldo is a mobster who is like carrying out the hits and the unaliving for the mob. So who's the bad person here? But it's like eerily similar, and like you see this in the Haunting Adeline book. Well, in book 1, you see like the similarities to what Adeline's grandmother is going through. Her name is Genevieve. Side note, I love that name. But you see what she is going through her journal entries, and like her meeting her stalker basically, but her meeting Ronaldo. But now you're getting to see like what Genevieve is thinking and like what's going on in her life, because I mean there's a twist, a mix in Haunting Adeline where she finds out like what actually happened to her grandmother. But to see the lead up to that in this book has been very interesting to say the least. I do like Genevieve's character. I actually like her more than I liked Adeline because she seems a little more like headstrong and take no BS in my opinion. So yeah, I'm having a very good time with that read. I don't know how much more I will get read today. I do have to do some writing, so it depends on how quickly I get my editing done today, and that will determine whether or not I will be able to continue reading. But that is my update for now, and I will be back with you all when I have another one. Okay, I have a couple of reading updates. First and foremost, I have started This Day, which is book 2 in the 365 series, and I'm not having a great time, which should be a shocker for nobody. I have many grievances with this story, but I feel like the biggest thing is the fact that we don't get the male POV, and I think that is where the story is missing like context. I do not like the female main character's point of view. I don't like being in her head. I don't think that she makes smart decisions, and I don't like being as lost as she is because she doesn't ask questions or use critical thinking skills. Only in chapter 7, she has been married, found out that her husband has a twin brother, has caught her husband's brother having sexy time with his husband's ex, and she thought it was him, which is stupid because the brother has done so much to even know, like for her to even think that it was Massimo and not the twin was ridiculous. She goes on a 2-month like hideout away from Massimo, and then comes back and is like not understanding why Massimo's mad that she left without actually talking to him about what she saw. I don't know, it is a lot, and on top of that she's pregnant, and I just feel like there's a lot going on and not a lot of context. I don't know, I'm like this close to DNFing it, but my aunt is begging me to continue because apparently, well, I know from the movies there is another love interest that appears, and I don't know. I'm kind of over it. I'm just kind of over it. But what I can say is this book, Phantom, we love her. We're having a very good time here, okay? I don't know how much information I gave, but it follows Genevieve and Ronaldo. And basically, Genevieve and her husband are going through a tough time because he has basically gambled away their money. And like their bills are coming up due and they can't be paid, and she's very upset with him. He's spending all day and all night out, and he has a best friend who is a police officer who has like offered to help pay, but like it's very clear that this friend is interested in Genevieve. And then you also have Ronaldo, who is a mobster and Genevieve's stalker, basically. They've had a few interactions, and it is very much so like Haunting Adeline in a lot of ways. But the story's being told well. I'm interested. I'm invested. I just need time to actually sit and read it. But I'm having a very good time. And I don't know, it's intriguing to me. So I'm very curious as to where the story is going. What I've also learned about myself is anytime a book has like diary entries, I eat that up every single time. So I'm hoping to get some more reading done today. I will have updates whenever they come, and I will see you in the next one. Friends, it has been a hot little minute since my last update in this video, so I thought I would pop on here and give one. I think the last time we talked, I was about halfway through book 2 of the 365 series. I have since finished that, and I am now halfway through book 3, and I'm continuing on because of peer pressure. I'm not saying the series is bad, but it's not my favorite. And I think that I would have liked for some things to go differently. I would just say that like I'm not a fan of the characters, and I feel like I have to say this every single time I give my opinion on books. This is no like shade toward the author whatsoever. I just don't like the choices that the characters made, and I think a part of this is there's so much happening to the FMC, and it feels like she has like zero autonomy, and when she does, she makes the weirdest decisions. But yeah, that's pretty much where I am right now. That's the only 2 books that I've really been getting through because they are audiobooks, so I'm able to pop them on while I'm doing other things. I have been reading Phantom in like my spare time, or like usually right before I go to bed, and I have made it to about the 40% mark in that book, and I feel like I'm just not in the mind space to read, and so that's affecting how I feel about the books that I'm picking up. Like I said, while I am enjoying Phantom, and I think I'm getting to a point where it's really starting to grab my attention and pull me in more, it's just taken a while to get there, and I don't think that's the book's fault. I think that's just life's fault, because I am in the middle of, well, towards the end of finishing development edits, and I think it's pretty safe to say right now, because things are about to look different, I am in the middle of packing a house and moving, because my husband and I are buying our first house, and when this video goes live, we will have already signed on the dotted line, so I feel it's safe to say that. So be on the lookout for a video documenting our process of finding this house, and then in the future videos for turning that house into a home, and I'm so excited. But I just wanted to pop on and give this reading update. Like I said, I have about 60% left of book 3. I think it's called This 365 Days. I can't remember, but I'm gonna pop my earbuds in, and I have to start packing my office today because we've put it off as long as possible. I'm gonna pop my AirPods in, finish that book, and then I will be back with my final thoughts on this 365. Okay, I need to make this update quick because my battery is probably about to die. I just finished the 365 trilogy, and it was crazy. It was a wild ride. If you like mafia books, dark romance, and you want to give it a shot, the series as a whole is okay. It is not my favorite. The individual books are just a lot to take in. The female main character, I hate her, and I feel okay saying that because the author's note even called the female main character stupid. So do with that information that you will. Personally, I loved the author's note at the end of the 3rd book. It actually made me feel validated that I even made it to the end of this series. I don't really know what to tell you. Would this be a highly recommended book, that series that I would recommend? Absolutely not. If you've read the 365 trilogy and you like loved it and you enjoyed it, I would love to know why. But that is my update. I do not know if I'm going to finish Phantom. That is the last book that I think I started in this video that I need to wrap up. We shall see if I finish it. It's been a hot little minute, and I don't even know what my last update is or was on Phantom. I'm at 37%, and Ronaldo has still been showing up outside of Genevieve's house. He's actually started coming in. They've started having conversations, and I think that they're about to have some spicy time. I don't know, but I think so. That's what it feels like we're working up to. And yeah, let's see what else has happened. I mean, it's really just like you get letters of what's going on in Genevieve's head, like diary entries, and of course you get like her POV and you get Ronaldo's POV, but like not a lot is happening. It's literally just like her being upset that her husband has like squandered his life away making the decisions that he's making, and then in Ronaldo's point of view, it's like all he thinks about is Genevieve and how he wants her to be his and like wants to take her away from this situation. Now there is another character that has been shady, and I think he has something to do with like the ending of this book, because I do remember like something about her story in Haunting Adeline that's gonna like I think come full circle. But like honestly, that's pretty much a update that I can give. That number one isn't gonna be spoilers, and number two just gives you an update of what I've read so far. I don't know what I really expected. It's just like a lot is not happening because Genevieve, the main character, does not leave her house. She is in her home at every point. Like I don't think I have seen her outside of the walls of her house. So there's not a lot to happen. Any like action that you see is in Ronaldo's POV, and you don't get that. I mean, you don't get it as much as you get Genevieve's POV. So I am going to do some more reading when I have a chance. I'm literally in the last 7 days of editing a book, so hopefully I will have time to get reading done, and then I can give you all my final thoughts on Phantom by H.D. Carlton. I don't know what the lighting looks like. I don't have my tripod here, but you're getting a sneak peek of the color in my new library. But I am coming here to close out this reading vlog. What I thought was going to be a weekly reading vlog ended up turning into a monthly reading vlog. I think in this video I read 5 books: Heart Trick, the 365 trilogy, and Phantom. I finished Phantom about 4 days ago, and I'm just now having the chance to sit down and talk about the ending. I think in my last update, or maybe the update before that, I told you all that we were moving, or we had bought a house, something of that nature. But I have been very busy with finishing up edits, packing, and then getting this house ready so that we can move in. But more on that in another video. Let's talk about Phantom. I believe when I last updated you all, I was at 40% of that book, and I ended up having to listen to the audio. Luckily, if you read it on Kindle Unlimited, I think you have access to the audio through Audible. And so I was able to listen to the audio for free, and I fear that is the only reason I got through that book. It was not bad, I will say that. I think I was just expecting something more. Based on the events that you read about in the diary entries in Haunting Adeline, I was expecting a different outcome in this book. I think I was expecting to see Genevieve and Ronaldo's full story play out, and you just don't get that. I will say, if you haven't read Haunting Adeline and you want to try H.D. Carlton, this is a good jumping point. I feel like it was very tame compared to Haunting Adeline, and it kind of prepares you for H.D. Carlton's style of writing. I would highly recommend the audiobook. It is done very well. It is dual narrators, and even in the chapters, if you're like in the female's point of view, when the male talks, it is the male narrator's voice that you hear, and vice versa. And I love when the production is that high in an audiobook. So I would highly recommend the audio version of that book. I think this is a book that I would probably explore again at a later date, just to see if I felt different, knowing what I do now, and maybe even after I do a reread of Haunting Adeline. Because what was weird for me is that in the Haunting Adeline story, I'm pretty sure we get the conclusion of what happens to Genevieve and Ronaldo, and for their book not to get to that conclusion just felt a little weird to me. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I made up in my head that we had a conclusion, but I just feel like all of the pieces were there, and maybe I'm missing an announcement that there's going to be another book to finish out their story. Maybe, I don't know, I'll need to look that up. But I will say that, you know, not a lot happened. I think we only see Genevieve leave the Parsons Manor twice in the whole book, and most of it is, you know, her journal entries, very slice of life. We see Ronaldo come across her, like how he sees her, and because I know you're thinking, if she never leaves the house, how did Ronaldo find her? You find that out in the book. And just like his infatuation with her. His storyline was really good, but it's because he's a mobster, and you see this full storyline playing out in his world, and it just, you know, the story is just kind of happening around Genevieve. So that's my thoughts on that. I would say, again, if you're a fan of the Haunting Adeline duet, pick it up, give it a shot. It's not as, I don't think it was as dark as Haunting Adeline was. And if you're just wanting to try H.D. Carlton to see if you can handle like her style of writing, I think this, like I said, is a great jumping point. But I'm going to end this video here. If you made it this far in the video, leave me skull emoji for Phantom. If you like this video, make sure that you give me a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you do so that you don't miss any uploads that I have here. And if you like the content that I'm providing on my channel, make sure you share so that other people can find me and we can continue to grow this bookish community. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you all in the next one.